Hello everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, this is NIOS Made Easy. On this channel, we do subjects prescribed by the NIOS board for the secondary and the senior secondary classes. If this interests you, please take a moment to subscribe. Today we are doing chapter 4 in painting, that is folk arts of India. This is for the secondary class. In the first 3 chapters in painting, we studied art and history from 3000 BC to the 18th century AD. In this chapter, we are studying 3 folk art forms, that is Kolam, Phulkari and Kanta stitching. India has inherited a pre-Aryan culture and that is reflected in our folk art. Different regions and beliefs have coexisted throughout our traditional life. In this chapter, we will learn more about Kolam, Phulkari and Kanta stitching and the techniques behind it. The first art form is Kolam. What is Kolam? It's a floor painting or it's a floor decorative art. In different parts of India, in different languages, it is referred to as Alpna, Rangoli, Kolam, Sanji, etc. Kolam is the most important part in the cultural and religious festivals of South India. During festivals, columns are done on the floor in front of the houses and also in front of the space in front of deities. Kolam is a symbol of fortune. What is the method of laying a kolam or what is the technique behind it? For laying a kolam, you need dry, coarse ground rice flour. First, the floor is made wet or moist by sprinkling water on it. Then the coarse ground rice flour is held between the thumb and the forefingers. The fingers are slowly rubbed to release the flour along the design. We see different symbolic forms like pictures, lamps and coconut trees in columns. The designs are geometrical in shapes. We see bright colors like red, orange, blue, yellow and pink in columns. The next art form is Phulkari. Phul means flower, Phulkari means flowered work. This is a type of embroidery practiced by the women in Punjab. These are done on small and large pieces of cloth and they're used for different purposes like veils, cover heads, garment pieces, bed sheets and bed covers. Phulkari work is done on cotton cloth and the embroidery thread used is a silk thread. The basic motifs of Phulkari designs is geometric in nature. They have traditional geometric shapes like squares and rectangles. In this pic that you see here, the star forms are stitched with golden yellow and silvery white thread on a red cloth. The predominant color used here is gold, that is the ripening wheat harvest color in Punjab. The women first pick up the outline of each section with a needle and before it is worked in a direction that contrasts with the section that is adjacent to it. This combination of contrasting vertical and horizontal stitches will result in a beautiful pattern. The next art form is Kanta work or Kanta stitching. This folk tradition of embroidery and quilting is from Bengal and it is known as Kanta. The Kantas are made usually with discarded saris and dhotis. They are sewn together to make it thick and the motifs are forms of animals and human figures that feature on it. The motifs and designs are taken from rural landscapes, ritualistic activities like mandala, objects from everyday life, rural festivals, etc. This Kanta sari that you see here is stitched in a typical traditional style and technique. The base color is pink of the sari and it is done using chain stitch with multicolored threads. The threads you can see here are of various colors like white, green, purple, red, brown, yellow, grey and black. You can also see that a king like a figure is sitting on a horse and he has an umbrella in his hand. Some other stylized forms of birds and bees are also used here as motifs. Kanta stitching or Kanta work is influenced by the Kalighat Pattachitra, which is very clear from these motifs. Now let's move on and see some important questions in the previous year board papers. The first question is, name at least 2 folk art styles of India. Kalamkari and Madhubani are 2 folk art styles in India. The other folk art styles are Kalighat, Phulkari and Kanta. The next 2 questions are about floor decoration arts. State any 2 floor decoration arts of India. Write the names of different kinds of ritualistic folk art. The 2 floor decoration arts in India are Alpana and Kolam. Others include Sanji and Rangoli. There are many kinds of ritualistic folk arts like Pattachitra, Pichwai, Alpana, Kolam, etc. The next 3 questions are on Kanta art. What is Kanta? Explain briefly. Mention the motifs and designs in Kanta art. Write a note on Kanta stitching. The folk traditional embroidery and quilting from Bengal is known as Kanta. Kantas are made using discarded saris and dhotis. They are sewn together to make it thick. The motifs are forms of animals and human figures. Motifs and designs are taken from rural landscapes, ritualistic activities like mandala, objects from everyday life, rural festivals, etc. The next two questions are on Kolam. What is Kolam? What are the motifs used in Kolam? Mention the names of at least three floor decoration arts in India. Kolam is a floor painting. It is a floor decorative art. It is also referred to as Alpna, Rangoli, Kolam, Sanji in different parts of India in different languages. Kolam is the most important part of the cultural and religious festivals in South India. Designs and motifs are floral, they are geometrical in shape, and you have symbolic forms like lamps, coconut trees, etc. in columns. The next few questions are on the technical aspects of kolam. What is kolam considered to be a symbol of? Write one method of kolam painting. Explain the technical aspect of the kolam floor painting. What does kolam symbolize? What kinds of designs and motifs are used in kolam? The last question is describe any one form of floor decoration along with its technique. Kolam is a symbol of fortune. The technique of laying a kolam is the floor is initially made wet or moist by sprinkling water on it. The coarse ground rice flour is held between the thumb and the forefingers. The fingers are now slowly rubbed to release the flour along the design. You see different symbolic forms like pictures, lamps, coconut trees, etc. in columns. The designs are usually geometric in shape and it has bright colors like red, green, blue, pink, etc. Which folk art form has influenced the Kanta motifs? The Kalighat Pattachitra has influenced the Kanta motifs. The next few questions are on Phulkari. What is the meaning of Phulkari? What are the materials used for this? Write at least 30 words on Phulkari and write a few lines on the Phulkari designs. Phul means flower and Phulkari means flowered work. This is a type of embroidery practiced by the women folk in Punjab. These are done on small and large pieces of cloth and they are used for different purposes like veils, cover heads, garment pieces, bed sheets, bedspreads, etc. It is done using silk thread on cotton cloth. The basic motifs of Phulkari are geometric in shape. They have geometrical shapes like squares and triangles, and the whole Phulkari design is achieved through vertical and horizontal stitches. How does the folk artist help the rural society? Folk art is the livelihood of artisans in the rural society. The folk artists or the rural artists do not have any formal training. These designs are repeated by them generations after generations. The rural society's need for art and craft supplies are supplied by the local artists and craftsmen, which makes it a way of life for them and a way to earn their livelihood. This makes the rural society self-sufficient. It gives the folk artists the recognition that they deserve. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this video useful, please do give it a like. Request you to share it with your friends who might also benefit from this video. If you would like to see more such content, please do leave a comment in the comment section below and please do subscribe to watch more such videos. Thank you again.